good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10, 9. Okay. It's a new era of football on the campus of Seton Catholic. Tonight's a flag football opener for the Sentinels as they open up at home against crosstown rival Mesquite. Michael Eubanks Stadium, the location, as Coach William Baker and the Sentinels square off against the hated Wildcats. Good evening, everyone. So glad you can join us. Tonight, the ladies take center stage under the lights. The squad has been working so hard, and finally, they get to show what they can do. It is the first flag football team in Seton Catholic history. The young ladies on the roster making history, so let's name them off. Number 1, Belen Hernandez. Number 2, Ariana Delgado. Number 3, Kendall Farron. Number 4, Sofia Barrios. Number 5, Addie Sanders. Number 6, Grace Cannon. Number 7, Madison Sickmeller. Number 8, Sofia Castillo Jimenez. Number 9, Victoria Casilla Mendoza. Number 10, Brooklyn Heineman. Number 11, Valerie Reyes. Number 12, Maria Magallan. Number 13, Giovanni Discalia. Number 14, Sophia Bardusek. Number 17, Alyssa Williams. Number 18, Ava Pongrantz. Number 19, Lauren Fallman. Number 21, Alex Sanders. Make that Alexa Sanders. Number 22, Esmeralda Lanigan. Number 24, Sophia McDonald. Number 26, Cadence Zimbelman. Number 27, Amelia Hall. So tonight they take on an experienced Mesquite team. Wildcats, led by head coach Chad Montgomery, went 10-5 last year, 4-2. They went deep into the playoffs, losing to Willow Canyon 41-0, and they have one of the best players in the state in Jordan Flores, quarterback last year. Had a big year, threw for 18 touchdowns, over 1,400 yards, and rushed for another 600 plus with 6 touchdowns. We'll take a short time out for the national anthem.
Officials for tonight's game as assigned by the AIA are referee Jeff Gentry, line judge John.
We are closing on the first ever flag football game right here at Seton Catholic as Billy Baker and the squad getting ready to take on Chad Montgomery and the Mesquite Wildcats, a team that has experience, a team that put up some wins last year. 10-5 overall, 4-2 in the 5A Santan region for a third-place finish, and they made the postseason and lost to Canyon View 41-0. So there is such a buzz on campus because of the things that are going on. The football team, wow, such a great effort thrashing Valley Christian on Friday night, 40-14. They are 2-1, and the squad heads to Alhambra on Friday. The volleyball team is on the road tonight at ALA West Foothills. They've got ALA West Foothills tonight. They're at Highland Prep on Wednesday, at Florence on the 24th, and return to face Valley Christian on the 25th. But tonight it's all about flag football. Lineups for Mesquite. Number 12, Kendall Glasgow as we kick off. Number 16, Jordan Flores. The ball is handled inside the 15. It's brought out outside the 20. Still on her feet and cutting inside, and the flag goes down. Call it at about the 32-yard line. Run back by Lugo, and that is where Mesquite will set up shop. Of course, they're led by their quarterback, Jordan Flores. Big year last year, threw for over 1,400 yards, 18 touchdowns, rushed for over 600 with another 6 touchdowns. She's got weapons. Look for Rubio Recaro Campa, number 30, and number 26, Mariah Willis. They both return, and they are talented. The center is number 18, Analia Maciel. Wide receiver, number 20, Bailey Wall, that is. Number 23, Lily Peterson. Ruby Ricario Campa, number 30. Flores dropping back. Time to throw, scouting, and she's going to tuck and take off. Little contact there, and the ball gets dropped, and that's going to be a short gain on the play. Call it maybe a gain of 3 on the play. So good defense by Seton. Good start by the Sentinels. Tackle by number 27, Amelia Hall. And that was kind of like a tackle, slight pull the flag, bodies contacting just a bit. You know, almost like Rock'em Sock'em Robots back in the day. So it brings up a second down. Wildcats will spread them out. Sentinels, 2 in the secondary, 5 across the line. Flores, good snap. Looking downfield, chucks it. And that's a good pitch and catch right there. Haley Montemayor on the reception. She takes a little bit of a knock, but that's going to move the chains, and that drops it down to about the 43-yard line. So a great pickup as Flores showing what she can do. And not only is she a great athlete, she plays on the soccer team. GPA, 4th in her class, 4.76 GPA. I wish I had half of that back in the day. Yours truly, nothing to be proud of, 2.0. Bogosiega pride. Flores shotgun, one back set, dropping back, surveying the field. She's going to tuck and take off inside the 40, down to the 35, inside the 30, and works her way for a big pickup. Finally brought down at about the 27-yard line. So Flores is moving and grooving early in this one. In control of an offense that averaged 19 points a game last year, just gave up 10. And this is a Wildcats team that they're anxious, they're hungry, they want to make their mark, maybe potentially win a state title this year. One back in the backfield. 4 wide receivers now make that a 5th. Flores, time to throw over the middle, got her target, and once again, what a pitch and catch. Montemayor, right now she is the mayor of Rand Dobson, controlling the middle of the field. So a good tackle by Casilla Mendoza. Victoria, the freshman. So they ruled that Kendall Glasgow. There are 2 number 12, so we'll give Kendall Glasgow the reception. I can only provide what Max Preps gives me. So there we go. So 1st and goal for this Wildcats team that has moved efficiently down the field. It's kind of like the Saints against the Cowboys yesterday. inside the 10. Flores trying to draw Seton off. Now she snaps it, rolls to her left, and she's going to turn the corner, and that's a good tackle right there by Seton. Good work on that end, and coming up with the saving tackle is Victoria Casilla Mendoza. So once again, Mesquite. That time Flores tried to see if she could work that angle, and good pursuit by Casilla Mendoza. Flores looking at her wristband, trying to get the play set. Seton bringing pressure from the left side. Toss down the field, and that is a touchdown, Mesquite. Lucille Sufakul on the touchdown reception, and Flores just moves them down methodically. And one of the best athletes on the women's side in the state of Arizona makes it look easy. They go the length. Flores to Lucille Sufakul. And now it's Mesquite will line up and try to boot it through for the extra point. And this could be easy, or this could be an adventure. This one up, and this one is through. Wow. We talked about Mesquite and their experience, and that was Lugo on the point after attempt, and that was a quality boot, and it's Mesquite grabbing a 7-0 lead. So now it's going to be Billy Baker and his offense going to work as they get ready to go on special teams and go to work. Their lineup, they're going to be led by their quarterback, Ava Pongrantz. And Seton will take over at the 35-yard line. This Mesquite defense, experienced and talented. So Madison Sickmiller, number 7, a wide receiver. Giovanni Discalia, a running back, number 13. Sophia Bartosik, running back, number 17. Alyssa Williams, a running back. Pongrantz, as we mentioned. Pongrantz, shotgun. One back in the backfield, a man in motion. Pongrantz, little dump off. Little running back screen per se right there. A short gain on the play. That was to Sophia Bartosik. So Billy Baker with some trickeration early. Billy, of course, the soccer coach, and has the women playing so well last year, the men, trying to build some toughness in them. But Billy loves to coach. Billy loves to coach. Doesn't really like to talk too much on camera, but we love Billy. He is a fun man and really cares about building a winner, no matter what the sport is here at Seton. Shotgun formation, that's always a good thing. Pongrantz, good snap. Pitch outside, and that is grabbed in the backfield. Alyssa Williams tried to turn the corner, but that's going to be called it a loss on the play. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down, and we talked about this Mesquite defense, and it's an experienced group. As you can see, Charlize Brown, a sophomore, she anchors it, and also Lugo, who just kicked that point after, lining up in the corner position. And they got athletes, and of course, facing Seton, they've got motivation. Pongrantz, bad snap, and it's going to go right to in the hands of Giovanni Discalia, and that's a huge loss for Seton on the play. So unfortunately, on that 3rd down possession, not the one Seton was hoping for. So dropping back to on special teams is Lugo for Mesquite. And Seton is going to punch this one down the field. On the punt attempt, And look, this is for Seton. They're learning, and they're going to give it their best, and that's all you can ask for. Good knock down the field by Kendall Farron. Picked up by Lugo. Lugo turning the corner. Lugo down the sidelines, and Lugo finally gets dragged inside the 45, call it about the 40-yard line. So the Wildcats, excellent field position. So glad you can join us. We're halfway through the first. Paulo Hutchison on the live stream, and we might even see our feathered friend, Freddie the Flamingo, because he's everywhere. He's at John J. McMahon Arena, and there is Freddie soaking in. Look, he's just out here picking some worms and flexing his feathers. So Flores is going to go to work, and Seton, that defense has to tighten up. Flores, good drop, flicks it downfield. What a good arm. And she almost had a receiver streaking down the field, and that was Suffolk yet again. And as we reflect back, it wasn't Suffolk, that was Mariah Willis, as we give credit where credit is due on that early reception. I'm not going to lie, I've got old man eyes. And when you got old man eyes, you can't see past 10 feet without wondering if things are correct in your life. Flores, one back set, good snap, rolls to her right. She's going to tuck and take off and rolls it in, still on her feet. Flores is going to go the distance for the touchdown. Flores, a house call on the campus of Seton Catholic. Flores, huge touchdown run. And it's Mesquite jumping out to a 13-0 lead. Now Lugo is going to come in for the extra point attempt. And once again, for Seton, it's all this is learning. It's the first year, so can't expect the girls to be out there and throwing touchdown passes like Tom Brady and D'ing up ferociously just yet, but they're working on it. Point after is up, and it's good by Lugo, and the lead is 14-0. And how about that? Jetsamani Lugo. That is one fantastic name. I wonder if it's just Getty for short. Jetsamani, great name. And Jetsamani has been 2 for 2 on point after attempts. So Mesquite, with all that experience, 10-5 last year, 4-2 in the Santan region, losing 41-0 with arguably the best athlete in flag football in the state in Jordan Flores. And Flores has come out, throwing a touchdown to Mariah Willis and had the huge touchdown run. So Seton talking some things over offensively, and now they'll go back to work with their quarterback, Ava Pongrantz. One back in the backfield. Man shifts in motion. Pongrantz running a little bit of option to her left, a little option toss. And that's a short gain for Seton. Scalia on the pitch. Winding down to 4 minutes left in the first quarter. Beautiful night for football. Looked like we were going to get a little bit of some rain. It looked like on the way of coming back from downtown Phoenix off the 101. Looked like there was some rain in the forecast, but Mother Nature holding up nicely. Got some nice clouds in the East Valley. The lights are on here at Michael Eubank Stadium, so great conditions, kind of cooled down as well. Pongrantz, shotgun, man in motion, good snap. Pongrantz will let it fly down the field, and that is going to be incomplete. Looking for Sophia Bartosik. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation. So you are watching history in the making. The first ever flag football game here at Seton Catholic. So proud to make the call on it. History in the making, and 5-10 years from now, when the Seton is dominating and winning state titles every year, we can reflect back on this, and Paulo Hutchison and I can be like, we're part of that journey, and that's a special one to say. Pond Grand shotgun, 3rd down, handoff inside, and a great pursuit in the backfield by Charlize Brown.
Handoff to number 17, Alyssa Williams.
Alyssa Williams, short gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th down. So Seton will have to go in punting formation. And Jetsamani Lugo is back to receive. Seton, of course, in their home red uniforms. Mesquite, white and blue. That's taken by the up. Working the right side, inside the 40. And a flag is down. And that could be flag shielding by Mesquite.
Flag was pulled by number 5, Addie Sanders.
Kendall Glasgow on the return. Flag is down at about the 45-yard line, roughly. Referees, of course, they're part of the game too. Ref is Jeff Gentry. Line judge Jonathan Pentland. And your headline is James Cobb.
Penalties against Mesquite. We think up here it's flag guarding.
So flag guarding was the call. Yours truly, on point. I did play flag football back in the day for my fraternity, South Florida. I was a great receiver, and then I thought I could play quarterback the next year. And boy, what a mistake that was. Get on more on that in a second. 1st down from the 50. Flores, all day to throw. She's going to toss it down the field, and good pitch and catch. And this one could go the distance, and it does. Mariah Willis and Flores, big time throw down the field. A 50-yard touchdown, and it's now 20-0 Mesquite. And as you can see, that Seton special teams unit, as Lugo comes in yet again. Good low angle view, and she knocks it through. So Jordan Flores, all that and advertised and then some. 2 passing touchdowns and the rushing touchdown. So as we take a look at Freddie the Flamingo, he's just checking out the turf, making sure everything is status quo here at Michael Eubanks Stadium. Love Freddie. One of the hallmarks. He is a staple here at Seton Catholic. So if you see him on campus, say hello. He'll always wave his feathers and always give you a friendly nod. So back in my flag football days, great receiver for Sigma Alpha Epsilon. I could catch anything, made one-handed grabs, and then back in the day, thought I could play quarterback, and that was a disaster. More on that in a second. Pond Grants, good snap. Little toss over, and that's going to be incomplete. Looking for Descalia out of the flat. Incomplete. And one of my favorites is on campus, Karen Self, the head women's basketball coach on campus. And Karen, look, not only does she coach her team to a high level, she's going to probably break the all-time mark for women's victories in the state this year. She will do that. First on this. 2nd down. Pond Grants. Handoff inside. Trying to break outside, and the flag was pulled immediately. Bartosik with the handoff. Brings up a 3rd down. And we are winding down Under a minute left in this first quarter. Mesquite out to a 21-0 lead. It's been the Jordan Flores show. So if you play women's high school fantasy football and you drafted Jordan Flores #1, so far she is paying big-time dividends. It's sort of like for all the people that drafted Marvin Harrison of the Cardinals and finally saw him produce yesterday. And that was a thing of beauty because, yes, I'm a believer because I saw how good he was back at Ohio State. Pongrantz, bad snap, holds on. Pongrantz, little flip to the outside. And a good flag grab by, once again, a player who's all over the field, and Kendall Glasgow. Glasgow, a junior, linebacker, wide receiver. And that's going to end the first quarter. Right now, Mesquite making the crosstown trip from over McQueen and Elliott, and they're in a commanding 21-0 lead. More to come from Michael Eubanks Stadium. You're watching the Wildcats and Sentinels on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. So we welcome you back to Michael Eubanks Stadium. Seton with a 4th down. They are forced to punt. This one taken by the up man and brought down inside the 35 to the 32. That was taken by Jalen Ayon Garibe. Good special teams work by Seton. And now the defense comes back on the field. And so far for Mesquite, 3 possessions, 3 scores. And when you've got an athlete like Jordan Flores, and I talked to their assistant coach, Robert Tomas, and Flores is also part of the soccer team. And Mesquite, usually a very talented soccer team as well. Also coaching one of the soccer teams over at Mesquite is Hector Brasino, who's the soccer coach over at Chandler Gilbert on the men's side. Doing a great job over there trying to build that program. Mesquite giving some opportunities to a backup quarterback who fires it down the field, and that is a great throw, and the reception is not made on the other end. Once again, it was a beautiful toss. And coming up empty on the pitch was Ruby Ricario Campa. 6 receptions last year for 136 yards and a touchdown. Flores, just a perfect strike. Brings up a 2nd down, 1 back in the backfield. Flores checking over the sidelines, waiting for the referees to blow the whistle, and Flores is like, come on, I got things to do. Got a movie to see. Monday Night Football. Flores downfield, good toss, and once again goes back, and Campa at some point is frustrating her fantasy football owners. 2 perfect strikes by Flores and 2 drops, and she'll go back to the huddle and put the onus on her. So good defense by Casilla Mendoza. That's Victoria, the freshman defensive back. So it brings up a 3rd down. Seton trying to tighten up and keep Flores and Mesquite out of the end zone. Now there's 2 backs in the backfield after the motion. Flores rolling to her right. Flores taking off. Flores inside the 20. Flores all the way in for the touchdown. Flores, a 32-yard touchdown run. And Jordan Flores underneath the lights at Michael Eubanks Stadium, putting on a show and then some. 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, and it's now 27-0 Mesquite. Just an impressive athlete, and right now Seton's got no answers, and for Billy Baker and his coaching staff, Roman DeCaro and Tony Stevenson and Dave Sweet, they've got some work to do. And Gitsimani Lugo knocks it through. 28-0 Mesquite. Right here on the campus of Michael Eubanks Stadium. History in the making. First ever Seton Catholic flag football matchup. So no question, look, the first time you drove that car, it probably wasn't a good experience. First time you rode that bike. First time you played one of your buddies who had 50 to 100 games in Madden football over you, and you got trucked, right? So there's learning curves in life. And once again for Seton and Billy Baker, they're seeing an experienced Mesquite team that, when it's all said and done, could be hoisting the gold ball. Pongrants back in the backfield. Pongrants surveying the defensive alignment. Now she'll chuck one down the field, and that's a good pitch and catch down the field. Good work. Good catch, good pitch, and a positive play by Seton. On the reception, number 14, Sophia Bartosek. Well, they call that Sophia McDonald on the reception. I'm almost certain it was Bartosek, but needs to say, big reception. And you like to see Seton growing with confidence offensively, and Pongrants trusting that arm that she can throw it downfield and hit her targets. She goes right back at it. Mesquite brings the rush. Pongrants throws another dart, and that's a good pitch and catch. Great work by Pongrants firing the strike down the field. And on the receiving end, looks like that was Belen Hernandez on the receiving end, but there is a flag down, and that will go against Seton, so that's going to push them back. But regardless, you have to love the positive execution by Pongrants and the Sentinels receiving corps. They are proving they can move the football and they can catch the football. And that's how it starts. Each moment you grow with confidence and you believe in your execution, as you see a good look of Freddie the Flamingo on the field. Freddie should not be there at the time. Pongrants down the field. And that one is going to be almost picked off. Right there in coverage for Mesquite was Sierra Fowler, sophomore defensive back / wide receiver. Amelia Hall was the intended receiver. So it brings up a second down. 2nd and 30. Here in the second quarter. Pongrants getting the call from the sidelines. Mother Nature almost waved her wicked wand of destruction with some potential rain, and she held off. Paulo Hutchinson said, "We did get a little rain here in Nees Valley. I did not see it because I was on my way." Pongrants will tuck and take off. Pongrants. And Pongrants with a good pickup. Takes it out to about the 38-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. So for the Sentinels, it's going to bring up a 3rd and long, as we are winding down to 7 minutes left in this first half. All Mesquite, 28-0. Sentinels with a 1-back set in that backfield is Ariana Delgado, wide receiver Now a man in motion. Pongrantz rolling to her right, fires downfield in traffic, and that is almost picked off. Pongrantz was looking for Belen Hernandez, but instead that's going to be incomplete, forcing a 4th down. Punting situation. Mesquite so far 4 possessions, 4 scores. And just by chance, if you're in the area, you love good pizza, the pizza place right across from Seton in the shopping center where the Fry's is spectacular. So tasty. Good people over there as well. This one booted, and it's going to bounce out of bounds. It's going to be inside the 40, and that's where the Wildcats will take over. Chad Montgomery, the head coach. And you got to wonder if Mesquite should score right here, if Montgomery will make the change and give someone else an opportunity to run the quarterback position. Flores is out there, and she's checking the wristband, and she's ready to dial it up, and so far she's dialed it up to perfection. 2 passing and 2 rushing touchdowns. Flores, 1 back in the backfield. Dropping, looking, and throws it downfield. A perfect strike. And that was just a perfect execution. Kendall Glasgow has been a big target in this one. And Flores on the perfect throw. Good pickup and a 1st down for the Wildcats. Inside the 50, call it the 48-yard line. Flores can't let her sit back in a pocket too good. If I was Seton, I'd be blitzing every play from the left side, forcing her to her left. Flores chucks it. What an arm. Wow. She has got a cannon. And Ruby Ricario Campa maybe gave up on the route a little bit. She kept running. Maybe she runs under it. But Flores, she chucked that a good 20 yards. Had some air underneath it. Looked like David Carr to Rashid yesterday in the Saints' victory over the Cowboys. 2nd and 8 from the 48. Winding down to 4 minutes left in half. Flores, time to throw. Chucks it again, has a receiver, and that one's almost picked off. A great effort by Seton. Lauren Fallman, the senior, with the great diving attempt. So that brings up a 3rd down. So Flores has been so good in this situation, and it's only 3rd and 8. So if I'm Chad Montgomery, I'm going to spread it out 5. I'm going to let Flores run for the 1st down, because it'll bring up a 4th down, and it's probably a 2-drive situation anyways for Mesquite. And Flores has a back in the backfield. Seton running a 2 deep set, and that's a handoff inside, and kind of a run pass option play by London Harville, the sophomore. That's going to bring up a 4th down, and a good tackle on the play by number 12, Maria Magayan. So a 4th and 3. Mesquite going for it. Flores not afraid. 4 drives, 4 scores. Good snap. They go back inside, and the flag pull. Is it enough? And once again, Mesquite moves the chains and gets the 1st down. Belen Hernandez in on the tackle. But Mesquite looking for another scoring opportunity as we wind down to 2 minutes left in the half. Mesquite bringing their fans across the way. Got some navy blue in the crowd. Flores, good snap, rolling to her right. Flores will just take off. Flores got some room to work with, and Flores just glides inside the 35 down to about the 30-yard line. Good pickup on that play and also stops the clock for a brief second. Great thing about flag football, the game moves so quickly. So they do stop the clock with a $1:24 on the clock. Flores. Now 2 backs in the backfield. Flores looking down the field, just chucks it. And looking for, once again, one of her main targets, Mariah Willis. And Willis, great coverage by the Sentinels in that secondary. So you can tell Jordan Flores has such a great grasp of that Wildcats offense and has a lot of freedom to ad-lib on the play. So it brings up a 3rd and 10. And I look at this for Seton. If they can get a stop, good way to end the half. Something to build on. Flores, good snap, couple steps, drops, now steps and takes off. Flores inside the 30, down to the 20. And Sophia McDonald on the flagpole, but once again, Flores did work her way out of bounds. Now there's roughly a minute left as the Wildcats are once again inside the red zone. And next time, Paul and I will have the Flag Football Red Zone channel. So we'll have all the highlights inside the red zone from all over the state. This one chucked down the field, and that one this time coming up big, Ruby Ricario Campa. 3rd time is the charm. Flores. And they rule that inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. Looked like Ruby Ricario Campa got in, but that's going to set up shop for the Wildcats. Timeout on the field. Billy Baker and staff talking things over with the young ladies. And tonight is a learning moment for the team. Playing Jordan Flores, she's a senior. She's been through this, soccer player. And for Billy Baker and his coaches, it's really about teaching the ladies about the game, strategy, understanding some things, and they'll be better for this. They'll be better for playing Mesquite early in this one. So it's a 2nd and 2 from the 2. Flores chucked down the field, and that is a touchdown strike. Ruby Ricario Campa. Campa dropped a couple touchdown passes on one drive, but this time she makes up for it with the 30-yard strike down the field, then the 2-yard version, and it's 34-0 Mesquite. And this one is up and good. Got some money. Lugo looking polished, looking like Justin Tucker out there nailing point afters. Now, right now there's a debate. Justin Tucker's been so good for so long, but if you haven't seen Brandon Aubrey kick the ball for the Cowboys, he's phenomenal. Had a 71-yarder call back in the season opener against Cleveland. And why do I know that? Because I'm fantasy vested in Brandon Aubrey. And yesterday in the Cowboys' loss got me 17 points. So there is 31.3 seconds. Seton will look to work the ball down the field. And this one's tossed up, and that one's taken away by Mariah Willis. And Willis with the interception. Willis. And Descala on the flagpole. So that leaves the time winding down, and Mesquite more than happy to end the half with a commanding 35-0 lead. And Billy Baker and the ladies, a hard-fought effort in the first half. It's the first time flag football is on campus, so they'll think about this and think about what they did right, what they did wrong, and learn how to be better from here. And for Mesquite, they did exactly what they should do. An experienced team led by arguably the best athlete in flag football in the state. And she went out there and owned it. 3 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns, and Mesquite with a big halftime lead. We'll take a short timeout from Michael Eubanks Stadium. A little warm night. And Mesquite making it even hotter for the Sentinels with a commanding 35-0 lead. You're watching the Sentinels and the Wildcats, the first ever flag football game at Michael Eubanks Stadium, right here, live on the Seton Catholic Sports Network. And we welcome you back to Michael Eubanks Stadium, where we're closing in on the second half. It's 35-0 Mesquite. They started fast. Jordan Flores to Mariah Willis. Then it was Flores on a huge touchdown run, made it 14-0. Flores to Willis, 50-yard bomb. Flores on a 32-yard keeper, and then Flores a 2-yard strike to Ruby Ricario Campa. And we begin this second half with Seton on offense. And Billy Baker and his crew had a chance to talk to the ladies, and we'll get this second half going. Sun is officially set. The lights are on here at Michael Eubanks Stadium, and we appreciate you dialing us up for the first ever flag football game here on the campus of Michael Eubanks Stadium. And that's going to be taken by the up, and good tackle, but a good effort coming up the field by Sophia Bartosik. Bartosik takes it out to the 30-yard line. And that is where Seton will take over. Ava Pongrantz and crew will go to work. And Pongrantz really came on in that second quarter. Showed some confidence in the arm, throwing some strikes down the field. And the great thing about flag football, the clock is always running, so these games start quickly, they end quickly. Pongrantz, one back in the backfield. Mesquite, 2 DBs deep. Pongrantz chucks it downfield. Pongrantz, ball's in the air and almost picked off. Going for the big pass play. Giovanna Descalia, the intended receiver. But I love Pongrantz. I just think maybe Seton should have an intermediate route, maybe drag one of those receivers across the field and give her a little bit of a shorter option. And of course, Billy Baker and the coaching staff, they'll go back and look at the tape, they'll break it down, they'll dissect it, and they'll tap into Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, the great offensive minds out there, and come back in week 2 and be even better offensively. Pongrantz rolling to her left, throws it downfield, and that is a good reception. Giovanni Descalia. Descalia on the reception. And we're talking about those intermediate routes just a short time ago, and that's one right there. But the easy ones to do is to drag, have a receiver just make an in route across the line, and it's going to be so hard. Just push other receivers down the field, and that's an easy one to work. Brings up a third down, a 3rd and 3 from the 37. Seton, one back, high snap. Pongrantz chucks it, and she's got the first down. What a reception and what a pass play. Amelia Hall. Emmy Hall, the freshman, living large in the land of Michael Eubanks Stadium. One more look. How about Paulo Hutchison in the replay? And the Sentinels move the chains. I'm loving the confidence Ava Pongrantz is building on the pass plays. Pongrantz rolling to her right, avoids the rush, chucks it, a little bit of a rainbow, but that pass is completed as well. Once again, Sentinels making noise through the air. Giovanna Descalia on the reception. Once again, take a look. That one might have brought down some rain, maybe some hail off the clouds in the sky, and needs to say, it produced a chain moving event. 2nd and 1 from the 41. Pongrantz. Oh, had the chance to take off, and that one,
Pass is incomplete, intended for number 14,
Sophia Bartosik. And it looked like on that play, Ava Pongrantz had all kinds of running room. Instead, decided to stop and throw, and Bartosik, that connection cannot be made. Brings up a 3rd and 1. Ball on the 41. Man in motion. Mendoza will flip it. The pitch. And that is going to be short. Great tackle by Mesquite at the line of scrimmage. Hustling in the back end. Jalen Aon Garibay denying the Sentinels on the short run. It's going to bring up a 4th down as we wind down under 7 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. Time is flying by, and we are having so much fun. First ever flag football game on the campus of Michael Eubanks Stadium. Halftime, we saw our good friends from another planet dancing up a storm on the field. Pongrantz, and that ball is a little fumbleitis on the field, and that's going to turn it over. So a good drive by the Sentinels ends on a bad exchange. So Mesquite will go back to work, and offensively, 5 possessions, 5 scores. So once again, if you've drafted Jordan Flores as your #1 quarterback in female flag football in the state of Arizona, she's paying big. She is your Kyler Murray of this week. Now a change of the guard at quarterback, and that pass is dropped out in the flat. This time, Glasgow. Giovanna Discala, the freshman who's been all over the field, in on the coverage. So new quarterback, Chad Montgomery, he's going to the backup. We'll get a number 4U here in just a second. Good snap. Toss down the field, and that is a wide open Glasgow. And Glasgow on the good reception. Call it a gain of 25 on the play. Trying to get a name and number for you at quarterback, and that name is Charlize Brown, the sophomore who will be running the show next year. Brown showing she's got skills as well. Rolls to her right, chucks it downfield, and that was a perfect strike. And Sierra Fowler, the sophomore, is going to look back at the tape and be like, you know what? Maybe I should have laid out. Maybe I should have had that highlight reel jumping grab that could have been on Sports Center or been on Paulo Hutchison's live streaming service. We've got all kinds of highlights on by Noah Plummer, the goaltender for Chandler Gilbert, who's simply outstanding. So Brown with a 2nd and 5 from the 25. Fowler now lining up just to the right of the center. Moves a couple steps outside. Brown back in motion, now to the line. Good snap. Brown will just tuck and take off, and Brown finally gets taken down. And the refs will say she's down at about the 17-yard line. Maria Magallon, the sophomore linebacker, coming up with a flagpole. And you think pulling flags is easy. It's not as easy as you think, because you can grab them, they can slide off, and sometimes they remain firm. First down from the 17. Brown showing she can run the show as well. Hand off on the outside and a good flag pull.
After the handoff, flag pull by number 13,
Giovanna Discala on the flagpole. Good defense by the Sentinels. Winding down under 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Here from Michael Eubank Stadium. Thursday night, Sentinels are right back at it, taking on the Titans of Arcadia. And speaking of the Titans, to this day, as we dial in this play right here, a second down. Ball on the 21-yard line. Brown looking at the wristband, dialing up the play. One wide receiver at the bottom of your screen. In the backfield is Lugo. Lugo's been great on the point afters. Brown, big time rush, avoiding it, rolling upfield, and good flag pull by Seton. Good defense by number 1, Belen Hernandez, as well as Addie Sanders. Winding down to the 1 minute mark in the third quarter. And there is a flag on the play that's going to go against Mesquite, so that's going to push them back. So it's going to be a second and forever for the visiting Blue Wildcats. Located just off McQueen and Elliott. Call it about 4 miles from here. Brown throws a rainbow up, and she was looking for a streaking Ruby Ricario Campa. That falls incomplete. Emmy Hall in on the coverage. So William Baker and his team learning all about flag football tonight, learning about defense, and the ladies learning about playing an upper echelon team and how much better they have to be. But we've seen some positive signs, some good work in the secondary. Ava Pongrantz got better as this game went. Hit some of our receivers as well. So a lot of positives as we wind down, and that's going to end the third quarter. We'll take a short timeout. We head to the forward. Sentinels trailing Mesquite 35-0. Fourth quarter, Brown under a big rush. Brown avoids the rush, chucks it downfield, and in and out of the hands for Mesquite on a big third down, but Brown put it in the breadbasket, and not coming up with it is number 12, Kendall Glasgow. Glasgow could not have asked for a better pass thrown, and Brown, who will take over the reins when Flores decides to and go on to her college career. No question she'll have the opportunity to play maybe soccer or flying football if that presents itself. 4th down for Mesquite. Referees getting things in order. Flag on the field. And that will go. It's going to be a false start against the Wildcats. And they'll push that back 5 yards. And we'll do it all over again. Monday Night Football tonight. Eagles and Falcons. Jalen Hurts. Kirk Cousins. Bijan Robinson. And the Eagles with Saquon Barkley. Barkley, a big first game, 3 touchdowns against the Packers. And here comes Mesquite. And this is a win for the Sentinels. The first time they have stopped the Wildcats tonight. So, look, you have to take positives with this. A big stop by the defense, and now the offense has a chance to go to work. They'll start at their own 25-yard line. Under 10 minutes left. These quarters fly by. More or less a running clock unless they step out of bounds or an injury. So it's almost as if you're watching a softball game with an ace on the mound. It could be in and out within an hour. Pongrants has played well in this second half and late in the second quarter. Rolling to her left. Rolling to her right. Pongrants will tuck and take off, and Pongrants finally taken down. Good flag pull by Mesquite. In on the tackle, Bailey Wall. Wall, a junior, plays a little wide receiver, a little center, a little linebacker as well. That time charging up and making a play. Brings up a 2nd and 13. Pongrants and the Sentinels would love to find the end zone for that first historic touchdown. And that would be one of those questions as Pongrants steps up and throws a strike down the field. And what about the catch? Getting up loud and proud. Giovanna Descala showing the great hands. One more look. Stepping up. Pongrants rips a laser down the field. Talk about the concentration. I like that. Perfect strike, and Descalia picking the BB out of the air with ease. Sentinels with a first down at the 44-yard line. Pongrants avoids the rush, going again. And it looks like they pulled her flag before the throw. And her flag was pulled, so a loss of 4 on the play. So I'm very encouraged watching Ava Pongrants as the quarterback. She can throw it. It's just really working the routes a little better. Have a couple more easy options for her. Get some outs and in routes in there. And the thing about it, the receiving cores and the defensive line is so far off the ball. They're easy 5 yards that you can easily trail receiver here or two there to make an easy throw there available every time. And Billy and his team, the coaching staff, they'll figure that out. Pongrants downfield, working the sidelines, and a good catch on the other side of the field. Valeria Reyes, the junior, showing the good hands on that sidelines. So this Seton offense really starting to play better as this game has gone on. They moved the ball last time inside the 40 and just stalled on 3rd and 4th down. Pongrants. A little pass in a flat, and the back just wasn't there as Pongrants was under duress. looking for Delgado out of the flat. And I think Pongratz has got to learn, if you kind of fake the throw, you can take off, and that will fool a linebacker any and every time. That's the old Aaron Rodgers play. Fakes it, and so it brings up a 4th and 6. Seton winding down to 6 minutes left in this one. Trailing 35-0. Man in motion. Pongratz, high snap, and that's going to end in turbulence for the Sentinels. In ground control, we have issues. So it's Mesquite takes over on downs, but a lot of positives on that drive. Some really nice receptions. And the coaching staff talking some things over. Good learning moments tonight as Charlize Brown, who can't handle that low snap, and Charlize Brown on her first possession threw what could have been a long touchdown pass right into the hands of Kendall Glasgow, but trickled through her fingers. So what we've seen from Mesquite, whether it be Flores or Brown, they've got elite quarterbacks. And you see Brown throwing a strike just a little low in the flat. Belen Hernandez on the coverage, intended for Jalen Ayon Garibay. 3rd and 7 from the 47. Sentinels bringing the pressure. One rusher, and that one is over the middle. Sierra Flowers still on her feet and finally pulled down. And that's not Sierra Fowler. That is actually Jetsamani Lugo. Lugo, who's been so good on the point after attempts, ran just a deep cross and got a perfect strike from Charlize Brown. First down at the 16-yard line. Plenty of time for Mesquite. Tack on one more and just give Brown some valuable experience. One back in the backfield. Looks like about to rush on that end is Maria Magellan. Magellan's got her eyes set on the quarterback. Man in motion. Brown. Handoff. And a good flag pull. Good pursuit by Seton. In on the tackle, number 17, Alyssa Williams. They gave that flag pull to Maria Magayon, number 12, but could have been number 17, Alyssa Williams. Needs to say we play on. Under 3 minutes left. 2nd and long for the Wildcats. Brown, big rush, avoids it, downfield, fires a strike, and that is dialed up for a touchdown. Mesquite does it again, flying the friendly skies. This time it's Brown, Kendall Glasgow. On the 20-yard touchdown. So extra point attempt by Lugo. And Lugo has been perfect on this evening. Lugo working on her fantasy football perfection. Boots this one up. And boots this one is good. Now, if you think kicking an extra point is easy, the Arizona Rattlers ages ago had a media flag football event, and yours truly cannot kick an extra point if his life depended on it. I was Mr. Shank You, or Shanklicious, or Shank You, I'll have another. So bad in so many ways. Need to say, Seton under the lights, the first ever flag football game here at Michael Eubanks Stadium. So glad you can join us. Paulo Hutchison on the live stream. Freddie the Flamingo and our good friends the Aliens also hanging. Freddie in the bottom right corner of the screen as Seton goes to work. Pongrantz rolling to her left. Fires downfield, and that's going to be in and out of the hands. Descala could not hold on. But a big rush. Mesquite putting pressure from that left side, and Pongrantz had to get rid of it. Winding down to 1 minute left in this one. Thinking about flag football, it goes by so quickly. Pongrantz rolling to her right, and that's going to fall incomplete. Good pressure again by Mesquite. That time it was Alyssa Gonzalez, the junior defensive back, bringing the heat. Seton making some substitutions. Checking in, Addie Sanders, just to name a few. That good ground field look of Seton. Also, Sofia Barrios. Looks like Barrios is getting a shot to run the show. So, Pongrantz out, Barrios in. 3rd and 10. Barrios rolling to her left, and Barrios gets sacked by Alyssa Gonzalez. And that's the way this one is going to end. The first ever flag football game for Seton Catholic, and a learning one. One in which they'll always remember they were a part of, falling to Mesquite by the count of 42-0. They knew they were going to be in for a challenge, taking on this Wildcats team that was 10-5 last year, 4-2 in the Santan. They lost to Canyon View in the playoffs, and it was really about Jordan Flores, who last year accounted for 2,000 yards plus with 24 total touchdowns. And she started off hitting Mariah Willis for a touchdown. She had a huge touchdown run, then Flores to Willis, a 50-yard strike. Flores on a 32-yard run, then Flores a 2-yarder to Ruby Ricario Campa. That made it 35-0 at the half, and then, of course, in relief, Charlize Brown threw a touchdown of her own. So the Sentinels, led by head coach William Baker and his assistants Roman DeCaro and Tony Stevenson and Dave Sweet. A lot to be proud of tonight and a lot to learn from. And they'll go back to the tape. We saw a lot of positives. We saw Ava Pongrantz really throw the ball well. And here's the bright spot. If you're Seton, Ava's just a freshman. So she's only going to get better. So you're seeing the beginning of, like, I want you to think about Brett Favre his first year in the NFL, or Patrick Mahomes, his first year in the NFL. They only got better and better as the game went on and their experience grew. And we saw good receptions tonight by the receiving corps. We saw some great defensive plays. Belen Hernandez was exceptional. Amelia Hall, Sophia Bartozik as well. Lauren Fallman, and a slew of Sentinels played outstanding games tonight. And a lot to be proud as Coach Baker and the young ladies talk about their night, and they should be proud. A lot of work went into this to get them to this point, and they'll get better as they get ready to take on the Titans on Thursday. Of course, the Sentinels football team, Friday, they're at Alhambra, and the volleyball team, they're in action as well. They've got a slew of road games tonight. It starts tonight at ALA West Foothills, followed by a trek to Highland Prep, heading to Florence, and then Valley Christian on the 25th, right back here at Seton Catholic. So Billy Baker giving some final thoughts to his team, and no question, smiles on his face. And even though they came up on the other side of the scoreboard, a lot to be proud of for those ladies who've worked so hard to get to this point. For the good people at Seton Catholic, Victor Cerna and Jim Shoebridge and Jen Hutchison and all the good people in the athletic department, Paulo Hutchison on the live stream, all the great Seton parents and students and athletes that make this campus such a family atmosphere, and it truly is here at Seton. Once you're on board, you are embraced and you are taken care of and loved, and that's always a good feeling. Sentinels dropped their first ever flag football game to the Wildcats, 42-0 for Paulo on the live stream. I'm Joe Pequeno. Sentinels back at it Thursday, taking on Arcadia. This has been a presentation of Seton Catholic Athletics.